Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to 9.1.5, path number 3, the Scourge Path. There is a lot going on here. The nodes are going to be Scourge Power Detonation, and then there is Scourge Physical Burst Damage, then Proliferate with Striker, and Clarify with Dash, Intercept, and Footloose. The defenders are going to be the Champion, Storm, Heimdall, Howard the Duck, Red Skull, Nova, and then the boss we're going to attempt, we're going to cheese, is going to be Shocker. Now, when you look at it at first glance, you think you need slow champions, but actually no. You need either champions with strong nuke potential, with who can get specials quickly, or you need champions with staggers and fate seal to keep that footloose and under control. So I've given you a few options, and in my opinion, the top options for this path are going to be your Hyperion, because he's a great nuker. Wiccan, he has a very strong fate seal, so Hood will be the very similar as well. And then, of course, Brute Force with Hercules, he is also great for this path. The boss island is going to be Craven, Shocker, and Sandman. We're going to attempt Shocker for this one, so stay tuned for that, and let's jump into the path. So starting off with the path, this is actually a path where you really need to know the nodes. The first node is going to be Proliferate, and the defender will gain 1 Scourge charge every 2 seconds, and maximum he can go to 20. And the timer on the to gain charge is paused for 4 seconds every time you use a striker. Now you can remove these charges whenever you will intercept the defender, so that will reduce it by 3. So when you look at the fight first, you think you have to intercept every now and again to remove those charges. But if you look at what these charges do, the first one is Scourge Power Detonation. So whenever you land a basic attack on the defender, you get a power detonation charge on yourself that is passive. And if you use a special before it expires, that goes away. But if you don't, it detonates on you and gives you damage. And also there is Physical Burst. So every time the defender is able to land a hit on you and you have those power detonate on yourself, you get a physical burst damage according to how many power detonates you have on yourself. And also there is Footloose finally, so whenever the defender will use a special attack, they will go unstoppable, and also they will have an evade charge. Now when you look at this part, you think you're going to need champions that have easy access to slow, but let me tell you, you don't. You either need champions that have staggers or fate seals, that's why I am using Symbiote Supreme, or you need champions that have very strong nukes so you can finish the fight fast. The whole thing about this path is you don't need to care about the Scourge charges, let them build up. What you need to care about is only the power detonation that is applied on you. So you need champions, mystic champions that have staggers or fate seal, so you don't have to worry about the unstoppable and the evade from Footloose. And also those champions should get very quick power. So if you look at Symbiote Supreme, he fulfills both of those criterias. He gets quick power, and he also can apply stagger, so he can remove the unstoppable and evade, and that makes it for a very safe fight. Just throw your special 2 whenever is available with a special 3, and the power detonate charges will go away. Fight number 2, this is an option of a nuke. So I have a Hyperion that is a rank 3, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to nuke down Storm. I am not going to care about how many Scourge charges are there. I don't want to intercept and make my life difficult. All I'm going to do, I'm going to use my SP2s and really dial in that damage. If she throws a special attack, I'm just going to dance around and wait for the unstoppable and evade to expire, and then I'm going to throw my special attack. Every time I throw a special attack, the power detonate charges are going away, so it doesn't matter how many Scourge charges Storm has on her. Even though she'll apply power detonate on me, and because I'm using a Hyperion, I have power gain, I will always have a special available with me. So I can always use a special attack before the power detonate charges detonate, and I can do quite a bit of damage, and at the same time I can not worry about the Scourge charges on Storm. So that is the name of the game. You either bring in your strong nukers, so that can be your Cosmic Ghost Riders, that can be your Hercules, that can be your Titania. All of these nukers work really well if you just play around the Footloose, and you should be able to get through this path. Now if you want somebody that is a nuke also and also has stagger and fate seal from a mystic champion, that is like the best option, but you can bring in a mixture of the champions and they will work. Now, fight number 3 is going to be against an Heimdall. Now, this is the perfect place where you have to bring in a Mystic Champion with either Fate Seal or Stagger, and that can throw quick specials. Because Heimdall is pretty annoying on this path. Actually, this whole path is super annoying. The defenders are really bad to deal with. So I've brought in a Wiccan here. I've recently ranked 2 him because I duped him. So what I'm trying to do here, that I am just focusing on keeping the Fate Seal, the Neutralize up, and keep throwing my SP1s to reapply it for a longer time. So Heimdall, it doesn't matter if he's throwing an SP2, anything, any kind of buff he's trying to get is going to be neutralized. So his potency or the level of craziness of Heimdall is very less. So for this fight specifically, I would say make sure that you bring in a champion that has Fate Seal or that has kind of a Nullify, and Mystic Champions can work really well here. You will notice I don't really care how many charges are there from the Scourge, because every time I'm getting a Plasma Detonate on myself, before it expires, I'm going to throw my specials. And I'm just throwing SP1s back and again, and that is doing all the damage. And before we know it, Heimdall is down to 50%. And that I don't have to worry about the Footloose, Unstoppable, and Evade, because all of that is being neutralized. So the best 2 options, in my opinion, will be Mystic Champions that can control the buffs, or heavy nukers that can finish the fight off very quickly in 1 or 2 specials. So if you get those champs in, you don't need champions with slow, you don't need to intercept or do anything. It becomes, the whole path becomes very manageable. It took me a couple of days to figure it out what would be the best option. So this is probably the best option I've come up with. If you did another strategy, let me know in the comment section down below what champion worked for you. In my opinion, Hercules, Hyperion, and Wiccan are probably the best options here, because this doesn't nuke everything, and the Wiccan just Fate Seals everything, so he can get through the difficult cosmic defenders like Champion, like Heimdall, and we have a very nasty Nova also coming up. So he can get through that. Another good option, another good champion is going to be Symbiote Supreme. He does the same job as your Wiccan. The staggers are there, the special attacks are there, and you can keep throwing those specials and you can get rid of this power detonate, so you don't need to worry about it. Next fight is going to be against a Howard the Duck. Same concept. I'm bringing in a Hyperion. I'm going to keep him to an SP1. SP2 I can block it, that's not a problem, but notice that how quickly I am able to nuke him down. I just need to wait out the Unstoppable and the Evade, and the damage is already, he's down to 66%. So if you bring in somebody like a CGR here, or if you use a Hercules here, or if you use like a Hulkling or Hyperion or even a Titania, this fight will be very quick. So before you know it, before they build up all those charges, because the Scourge charges will only give you a chance of how many power detonate will be applied on you as an attacker. So the power detonate, they are just taken away if you just use a special attack. So instead of doing all of those crazy intercepts and making life difficult and complicated for you, you can just drop in specials and you should be good. The power detonate will go away and you will not take damage. Bring in your nukers and just destroy the path. Here we go again on Howard the Duck. There we have an SP2, 56,000, 40,000 at the end of it. 5-hit combo. Again, starting another one into a striker, and there you go. Howard the Duck is down already. And this is probably the most annoying fight for the whole path. You need to bring in specific counter for this Red Skull, because his kit is already quite annoying to deal with. And then on top of it, he has all of these Scourge and everything. So you really have to keep throwing your specials. I try to avoid Hercules wherever I can, but if it works for the RPG element of the fight, I have to bring him in. So the way Hercules works well here, I can just spam my SP1s and I can get those True Sense and not worry about the Red Skull's auto block after a special. So best option would be Hercules. Other options I've also mentioned that you can use. Somebody like Odin can also work. Anybody that can bypass the auto block on him should work really well. You can also bring in champions that can do armor break. So for example, Thor will work here. You can also bring in Corpus Glaive, depending on what level do you have him, because the HP pools are crazy. So you will need like a really crazy Corvus if you want to bring him. But the armor break element is there, that will help you. So yeah, just like that, before it expires, the bar will detonate. I'm using my SP1 again. So rinse and repeat. He is down to 52% and we should be able to take him down. For this path again, don't worry, you don't have to bring in champions that apply slow, because that just overcomplicates the path. Just ignore the Scourge on the opponent and just focus on your side of the health bar. Just make sure that you use a special attack before those plasma detonate, because when you use a special attack, those plasma detonate go away, but if you don't, then they're going to explode and do damage to you. Now Hercules is good for this fight because Red Skull has a lot of armor, and if the opponent has armor, then Hercules does some extra damage. So he works really well for this fight. And the final fight is going to be against a Nova. And a Nova on his own is a pretty rough defender. So you have to bring in a Mystic champion that can either control him with a Fate Seal, either a Stagger or Neutralize. So keep his buffs down. So I am using a Wiccan here. And all I'm trying to do is to just finish the combo with a medium light to apply the Neutralize. And then once the Neutralize is up, then 3 hit combos into SP1 and the the duration is extended. And all the buffs that are supposed to be a Nova are taken away and converted into Incinerate damage, which works really well for me. I can just see Nova melting away. So you can do similar with other options as well. Just make sure that they have Staggers and Fate Seals, and you don't have to worry about not only the Footloose, Evade and Unstoppable, but also any kind of buffs Nova will get and maybe become unblockable and everything. All of that is taken care of. So yeah, that's about this fight. You can take it out. It's very important that you bring a good counter at the start of the path. So make sure you check out the intro and you bring in counters for Red Skull and also Nova. This is probably the hardest path in all of 9.1.5 of all the paths I've done. So yeah, good luck with that. Let me know in the comment section what you guys tried and what was your strategy. I'll see you at the boss fight. The boss fight is going to be against a Shocker, and I'm going to admit I have no idea how his nodes work. I just saw an amazing video from its Aryan Gaming. If you haven't checked him out, make sure to give him a sub and show some love. He just showed you a cheese method, so why make it complicated if something's already working? So all you need to do is to get your striker ready, corner Shocker, use your striker, and then just spam your heavy attack. Do not delay it even for a second. This works like Doom's heavy attack. Because of the sleep, you can keep throwing your heavy attacks and Shocker will not move from there with the Unstoppable, and you can just keep throwing that. It's very similar to Doom Cheese. So yeah, that's about it. You can get Shocker down like that. Remember, you can use other champions as well, but all of them should have only single hit heavy attack. That's very important. Single hit heavy attack champions can do this strat and they can kill off Shocker. The hardest boss in 9.15, we have a cheese method, so enjoy that guys, and make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. and let me know in the comment section what was your strategy, and I'll see you on the next video starting off with 9.1.4. Bye.